Peace be with you. I make these videos to try to combat ignorance and misinformation about the Quran. So today I wanted to talk about some verses that are often used to demonize the Quran. Not only that, actually, these verses are all often used to misrepresent the Quran by people who call themselves Muslims as well. So these are very important verses to talk about. And the key line here is, and kill them wherever you find them. So many people who hate Islam use these verses to try to misrepresent what it says and make people afraid. And those people who pretend to be Muslims or believe to be Muslims but are either ignorant or just have corruption in their heart, they use these verses to justify their own evil actions, therefore reinforcing the extremism of the people who hate Islam. So these two groups of people both use the same verses to misrepresent what God says, and in the process they encourage each other. They increase people in extremism, and historically these two groups of people have radicalized large enough populations in the past to where conflict, war, and suffering have resulted. So understanding the Quran is very, very important, and understanding its context is very, very important. And this is why I make these videos, and this is why I want to talk about these verses today. So the first verse in question is in chapter 2, verse 191. So it says, the first line of it, and kill them wherever you find them. So a lot of times when we hear this as human beings, we are, horrified immediately, and their barriers come up, so which is justified. But ignorance is no excuse. So again, what it actually says, and kill them wherever you find them, and drive them out where they drove you out. And persecution is worse or more severe than killing. And do not fight with them at the Sacred Mosque until they fight you in it. But if they do fight you, then kill them. Such is the recompense for the disbelievers. So what this is talking about is God is talking about talking to a bunch of refugees, right? And drive them out from where they drove you out. So these people have already suffered. They're already refugees because somebody persecuted them, and now God is finally giving them the authority to defend themselves. So God says, okay, you ran away, you're still persecuted, enough is enough, you can fight back. And then, it also, there's a caveat. It says, do not fight with them at the Sacred Mosque until they fight you in it. So at that time, pilgrimage to Mecca was, still a must, and people were trying to go back there just as pilgrims, but they were not allowed to. But God still tells them, even though they won't let you do it, don't fight them until they fight with you. But if they fight with you, then kill them. So if you are attacked, I don't care what religion you are, I don't care what nationality you are, if you are attacked, you have the right to defend yourselves. And this is basically all that God says in this verse. And, that's the same thing with any military. Kill them wherever you find them. This is what militaries do. This is what we're taught. This is what service members are taught. You see the enemy, you kill them. But it goes on further. Then God says, but if they stop, then surely God is forgiving, merciful. And fight them until there is no persecution. And the way of life, the religion, deen, should be only for God. So you should live your religion only for God. But if they stop, then there should be no hostility against the oppressors. So God tells us, kill them wherever you find them. You are refugees. They keep persecuting you. They keep attacking you. They keep fighting you. Fight them. Kill them. And this is war. But if they stop, if they leave you alone, you live for God. There should be no hostility except against the oppressors. So that's basically what it says. And this isn't the only verse that talks about this. So I'll recite another verse, and this is in chapter 22, verses 39 and 40. God says, permission to fight is given to those upon whom war is made, because they are oppressed. And most surely God is well able to assist them. Those who have been expelled from their homes without a just cause, except that they say, our Lord is God. And had there not been God repelling some people by others, certainly there would have been pulled down cloisters and churches and synagogues and mosques in which God's name is much remembered. And surely God will help him who helps his cause. Most surely God is strong, mighty. So basically, this again reiterates the reason for war, to fight, to kill them wherever you find them. That's what it means to fight. Permission to fight is given to those upon whom war is made. So basically, you're not allowed to make war until war is made against you. And this is the most enlightened of principles, right? If you are oppressed, then you have the right to defend yourselves. This is what the Quran says. Going to chapter 4, there are some more verses that I wanted to highlight because, again, these are verses that contain the line, and kill them wherever you find them. So I wanted to address them in this video as well. And it says, "What is the matter with you that you have become two parties about the hypocrites, while God has made them turn back for what they have earned? Do you wish to guide him to whom God has caused to err? And whomsoever God causes to err, you will by no means find a way for him. They desire that you should disbelieve as they have disbelieved, so that you might be all alike. Therefore, do not take among them friends until they emigrate in God's way. But if they turn back, then seize them and kill them wherever you find them, and take not among them from among them a friend or a helper." I'll briefly stop here just to say that this verse has in particular been used by people who refer to themselves as Muslims, but who are very ignorant, to justify killing of apostates. This practice is present in some countries of the so-called Muslim worlds, which clearly is, but it's not a Quranic practice. This is just an innovation of people who want power. God says in the Quran, I'll diverge a little bit to say that in chapter 10, verse 1099, God says, "And if God had willed it, all people in the earth would believe, all of them." Are you going to force people to be believers? And also in the second chapter, I believe, and I don't know the exact reference, God says, "There will be no compulsion in religion. Surely the right way is clear from the wrong way." So that being said, we know that this is not what the verse is talking about. It's not talking about killing of apostates. But unfortunately, the people who claim to be Muslims, who are ignorant, who do these things, provide ammunition for those who hate Islam, who want to misrepresent it so they can make more people afraid, and basically cause Islamophobia, basically for people to be afraid of Muslims. And they're doing a good job, because these verses, Muslims don't even know them. And this is why I make these videos. In any case, finishing this block of verses, it says, "Except those who reach a people between whom and you there is an alliance, or who come to you not wanting to fight you or their own people. If God had pleased, he would have given them power over you, so they should have certainly fought you. Therefore, if they withdraw from you and do not fight you and offer you peace, then God has not given you away against them. You will find others who desire that they should be safe from you and secure from their own people. As often as they are sent back into corruption, they get thrown in it headlong. They rush into it. Therefore, if they do not withdraw from you and do not offer you peace and restrain their hands, then seize them and kill them wherever you find them. And against these we have given you a clear authority." So what these verses are talking about is hypocrites, people who have claimed that they believe, but now they disbelieve, and now they're demonizing the faith, and now they want not only that, but they're attacking Muslims, and which is evident by what we hear. If they do not withdraw from you and do not offer you peace, and withhold their hands, meaning they are actually attacking Muslims now, then it's war with these people too. So again, clear self-defense. It is kind of very, very important to read these verses in context, because if you just take them out of context, it can be presented as very, very violent. As I've already said, where it says if they turn back, then seize them and kill them wherever you find them, that only relates to those people who keep attacking Muslims. So it is important that to also realize that those people, if they don't want to be Muslims, and they don't want to participate in a conflict, as I read earlier in this video, there are people who attack others, right? Who drive them from their homes, who kill them, who oppress them. So God justifies war against these people. Now, this is talking about another group of people who pretended to be Muslims, but now they don't want to be Muslims anymore, and now they want to participate in this war. There's a group that want to participate in the war, and or attack people just because of their faith. And then there's another group of people that don't want to have faith, they don't want to be Muslims, but they don't want to participate in any conflict. And these people, they have the right to do so. God says they have the right to do so. Now, in modern conflicts, we know that people can be drafted, right? If you are a part of a community and that community goes to war, they can take you, they can take your children, they can send them to war, end of story. You don't have the right for that. But in the Quran, God says that that is not acceptable. Draft is not acceptable. If people don't want to be Muslims and they don't want to fight in your cause and they don't want to deal with you, but they want to be peaceful, you let them live their life, and that is what the Quran says. Lastly, the last verse I wanted to mention is in chapter 4, verse 94. And it says, O you who believe, when you go to war in God's way, make investigation, and do not say to anyone who offers you peace, you are not a believer. Do you see goods of this world's life? But with God are abundant gains. You too were such before. Then God conferred a benefit on you. Therefore investigate. Surely God is aware of what you do. What this says is, do not use religion as an excuse to expand your holdings, to expand your empires, to expand your states, to expand your lands, to take other people's property, to be somebody in this world. Make investigation, and do not say to anyone who offers you peace, you are not a believer, seeking this type of gain, worldly gain. You can't use religion as an excuse. And then again, that is basically reaffirms what was said in the prior verses, like just a couple of verses before this, where it says, if they withdraw from you and offer you peace, then you have no right to no right to attack them. So this is what the Quran says. When it says kill them wherever you find them, it's talking about a people who have been oppressed, driven away from their homes, who for no other reason than saying God is our Lord. And God says that you have to defend yourself, because nobody should live oppressed forever, but also that we are not allowed to be the oppressors. So if people want to live their life a certain way, then people who claim faith have no right to attack them or do anything like that. This is what it says. It is the ultimate justice. War is horrific, and you cannot present it as anything other than horrific. Kill them wherever you find them is war. It basically defines war. Go find your enemy, then kill them. So there is nothing evil about that, because that's just reality of life. What is evil is that you go looking for an enemy when they have not attacked you, seeking to take their lands, seeking to take their property, seeking to take their natural resources, or for whatever other reason to implement your religion or political ideology or whatever else. That's the evil part. And of course, Muslims and Christians historically have done this. They have done this. Most of the history is people doing this. And this is why knowledge is so important. This is why I try to make these videos. Even though I'm a nobody, at least I can try to put this out there, because this is what the Quran says. This is what Islam is. I don't care what people say Islam is. Quran is Islam, and this is what the Quran says. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, because I see a lot of videos where these verses are misrepresented, and I see a lot of Muslims who don't have a clue what the Quran says and behave in a very, very violent way and try to justify crimes that have been committed in the name of Islam historically and currently, and this is not what God allows us to do. So that's it.